Good afternoon, Tom Ginn, G-Force. We will be right back. Hey, good afternoon, Friday. G-Force is for gratitude. What are you grateful for today? It's always the question I ask. What are you grateful for today? Um, because this moment is the most important moment you have in your life, and how we deal with it determines what happens, everything moving forward in our life. So today, I'm going to deviate just a little bit. I'm going to still get back into Rex Sikes' book here, chapter 3, and just one particular part of this book in chapter 3. It's pretty profound the way Rex has written this book, how he's used capital letters to draw information out to you, bring it right in front of you. Different way of keeping you engaged. I really believe how he's written this book is pure genius. I encourage everybody to get this book. There are so many books out there on personal development, and they're all fantastic. But this book right here really is standing out for me and reinforcing what I've been taught, getting clarity on things I've been taught, different ways to look at things or a perspective. And I'm grateful for Rex Sikes that he's crossed my path in life. And I look forward to getting to know Rex on a personal basis this coming Sunday. We are going to meet here in my community in Oconomowoc. We're going to one of our favorite food trucks out there. It's a burrito shack, and they do a fabulous burrito. And we're going to get some burritos. He's bringing his two girls, his dogs down. We're going to go sit by the lake, have some conversation, get to know Rex. And I'm going to be a sponge to this man. And he's phenomenal. I love the way he communicates. And so I'm looking forward to that opportunity. I'm grateful beyond measure to get to know Rex on a personal basis. Just tag and share this information out. Just tag and share. We'll be talking a little bit life on your own terms. We'll be delving a little bit more into chapter 3. But I really just like to bring attention to what is your why? What are you grateful for today? Or are you just taking today for granted? Do you have a routine? Do you have a process that you start the day off with gratitude? I learned a lot from the book Gratitude Works, and it's a discipline. It's not just something we just casually think about. If we can really get to a state of gratitude, it changes everything in our life. It gives us different perspectives, whether things are good or bad. Because you can only hold one thought at a time. Gratitude is a positive. So go to a place of gratitude. And I believe one of the things that you can do is sort of maybe go back today. We got a weekend coming up here called Father's Day. And I just want to wish everybody out there a happy Father's Day weekend. And take some time to reflect. What are you grateful for? Now, everybody's going to have different relationships with father. Some may not even know their father. I'll share what I'm grateful for in my father relationship here in a second. But what are you grateful for about your father? What's that one thing? that you can lean into. So when things get tough, you can just lean into that thought. And so let's celebrate Father's Day. It's a very special day. So, Father's Day, I'm just going to bring something up here on my screen, um, is a holiday honoring fatherhood and parenthood, as well as the influence of fathers in our society. In Catholic countries, Europe, and these are major holidays. It was originally established on March 19th as Saint Joseph's Days since the Middle Ages. In the United States, Father's Day was founded by Sonora Smart Dodd and celebrated on the third Sunday of June, the first time in 1910. The day is held on various dates across the world, and in different regions maintain their own tradition honoring fatherhood. So that's a little history there about Father's Day. I believe it's, we really get excited about Mother's Day, and fathers sort of take the back seat when it comes to Father's Day. But I believe we should have reverence for that as well. So happy Father's Day. What is the one thing about your father that you're grateful for? What is the one thing? What is the one thing? With fathers, I was brought up, my mother had 4 children before she was even 20 years old. And I never knew my blood father, but I'm grateful. I don't have resentment that the fact that he wasn't involved in our family's life. I knew where he lived. My brother was raised by my father and my grandfather. There's a big story behind that, but that's not important here. So I don't hold any grudges. I'm still grateful that I'm here. It's because of him and my mother's relationship that I'm here. I don't hold grudges or frustrations or anger or anything like that. I'm grateful that these 2 cells came together from my mother and my father. And I'm grateful for the genes that he has provided, because I'm grateful for all of who I am in the physical body. He didn't have any influence in me and how I think or my values or my purposes in life. But I do honor the fact that he is my biological father. And I'm grateful for who I am in the physical body. I'm blessed to have those genes passed on to me, his intellect and all those things. So be grateful whether you have a father that's physically in your life or not. There is something to be grateful for. Don't harbor anger and resentment and hurt and all those things. There's something positive in each one of those. And then I was brought up by a stepfather. I'm so grateful for him in many ways. Like any relationships, there was good and bad and everything else, but I'm so grateful for what my stepfather taught me. Hard work, show up early, do more than you're getting paid for, or do more. He taught me a lot about life. He was a veteran. He grew up in the Depression era, and he was a veteran in the Second World War. He shared those things. He was at Purple Heart. What they had to go through just gave me a lot of admiration for that. But he taught me a lot of other things about life that are so critical. Put me to work young in mowing the lawns and doing chores and showing me how to do things. He was a mechanic, so he showed me how to do things with the cars. He loved woodwork, and he built a boat, and so he was a great teacher on how to do things in life, how to be self-sufficient. And I'm so grateful for that. So what are you grateful for? What's the one thing? I rattle off a bunch of things I'm grateful for. I'm just grateful that he came in my life and taught me all about elements of life and how to deal with the world in a realistic way. Prepared me for the world. Prepared me for the world. And so I'm grateful for that. So what are you grateful for today? What's the one thing that you're grateful for from your father or your dad or another male that you can lean into? And what are you grateful for? Be like a father figure. What's the one thing that you can be grateful for? So we got a great weekend coming up. Don't discount. Have a great, safe weekend. But take some time to reflect. What are you grateful for Father's Day? Your dad or that person that was a father figure for you. So let's get into the book. Life on Your Own Terms. And this chapter 3, it goes in pretty deep. It really setting up a foundation of off the title here. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. And the other day I went through a number of points, but today I'm just going to cover just this area right here. We can have a whole lesson, a whole self-study course just on what you hold in your mind, you can hold in your hand. And many times we don't recognize how powerful our thinking is. Most people don't. They have no idea what's really controlling the behaviors and the habits that create the results in our life. Who's in control is be my question. Are you in control of recognizing your thoughts? And if you can recognize your thoughts, you're in control. You can make change. How did you learn what is learned? Let's ask that again. How did you learn what is learned? Everything that we have learned is through repetition. Everything that we want to unlearn and relearn has to be done with repetition as well. Repetition builds the habits, and the habits create the actions that create the results that we do in life, whether they be good or bad. And like Rex was saying, that many times we think that we're self-sabotaging. No, we should be learning and build on those things and grow from those things. Our thinking is here to serve us. The issue for most people is they let their brains run on without ever taking charge of it. Autopilot. Autopilot. When we're in autopilot, you're not really in control. We become passengers of our brains. And the question, who is doing the driving? If you're not doing the driving, you're sitting in the back seat. And you'll go wherever the driver takes you. You're out of control. You have no control. You want to get in the front seat in the driver's side and take control. Your first thoughts will dictate which direction you're going. Your bus is going, your vehicle that you're in is going. What is your first thought? Some of these things are things that I'm adding in from things I've learned from Glenn Morshower and Bob Proctor and other people, but I'm just expounding a little bit on Rex's book here and in this one particular part of this chapter. What you hold in your mind, you can hold in your hand. We've heard that many times, and many times people think, oh, that's just woo-woo or fantasy or whatever the case. I guarantee you, it's reality. Because what you're holding in your mind right now, you're already holding in your hand. Look around your environment. It's already manifested. So if you're not satisfied with this environment, you can change how you think, and you can then change the reality, because the process that got you to where you are today will work when you want to change. So we got to look at things and take control of our thinking. You don't want to be transported in life. I don't want to be transported to fulfill somebody else's goals, or I don't want to be transferred to a reality that somebody thinks I'm capable of doing. I want to take control of that. I don't want to be transported. I want to be in control in a positive way. Your brain, your mind transports you and drives you unless you take and assume control. He put that in big, bold letters. And it's doing this because it's your friends, that he says. That's an interesting comment. It does what it learned to do reliably, to trip. So the trip is comfortable and familiar. People will continue doing the same things over and over again because it's comfortable, it's familiar, the subconscious is dictating it. Even though the outcomes of that behavior, those habits, aren't satisfying, they're not fulfilling, they're negative. But people get back into old relationships just like the one they had before because it's comfortable, it's familiar. But if you don't like that, you got to understand that you can change your thinking about that relationship. Find that definition of a relationship that you vision as positive and start reprogramming things. And guess what you have? You could then end up having a better relationship, holding it in your own hand. You're in control. You know, our minds are like a GPS. It's programmed. It will take you to the destination that's already been programmed. You've been programmed already. The results you have today are the accumulation of all your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs. And if we don't like where we're at in any area of our life, you can reprogram your GPS, because the GPS will keep you bringing you back to the same destination. No matter where. If you're in New York and you says, let's go home, it's going to take you from New York to home. It's going to get you there. It's going to get you to the same place. You're in Los Angeles, take me home. It's going a different route, but you end up in the same destination. If you're not happy with your destination, you got to change the program. You got to change the roadmap. You got to change everything. And yeah, there's going to be bumps in the road and detours and roadblocks and all that. But the programming will always get you to the final destination. It will find the right route to get you there. Sometimes it gets you there quicker. Sometimes there's delays. But the GPS will always get you to the programmed destination. That's where you are today. You have a destination that's been already programmed about your relationships, about how you look at your faith, how you look at money, how you look at success, how do you look up everything is already been programmed into you. Much of it is good, but there's some things that we need to change in our programming. And that's when we take control. I call that mental homeostasis. When you know how everything is working and you're in control. See, the reason we don't make changes, whether the outcomes we're getting in life, is the subconscious doesn't know good or bad. It just knows what you've given it. And it doesn't want to scare you. A change is scary. It's contrary to what you've been programmed, and it's going to want to keep you in that space. It doesn't want to rock your world. And it serves you the best it knows how. And that sort of leads back to Father's Day in a way. I just sort of deviate off of this, is that our parents, our fathers, our mothers, they did the best they knew how. Your mind is the same thing. It's going to serve you the best it knows how it's been programmed. It wants to keep everything the same, consistent. Man, when we want to do a change, boy, do we get full of what we call anxiety. That oil water mix starts happening. It doesn't like it. And it's controlling you until you understand how you can change your mind, change your thinking, and you can, in fact, manifest a new reality in your own hand. Relationships, money, career paths, faith, everything is controlled at the subconscious mind. What has been fed to you at the subconscious is giving you your meal today. You want a different meal, you got to create a new recipe, find a new cook, a new way of preparing the meal. So keep in mind, what you hold in your mind, you can hold in your hand. And if you don't believe that's a real statement, just look at what you're holding in your hand now. It is, in essence, what you've been programmed. Your subconscious has gotten to you where you are today. It's a reality. So don't say this is woo-woo, this isn't anything but fluff. It's a reality, because where you are today is a manifestation of what you've held in your mind. So just that's one 5-paragraph section of this book. You can go deep and deep and deep and ask questions. I think questions are probably one of the most powerful things we can do to initiate change. How did I get here? Why do I believe what I believe? Is there a different way? I don't even believe in better, a different way. Recognize first thoughts. With that all said, I wish everybody a blessed Father's Day weekend. G is for gratitude. I'm so grateful for my blood father. Even though I didn't know him, I knew of him. I had only met him once in my young adult life. I was satisfied with that. I'd hold no grudges. I'm still grateful that the biology of my mom and the biology of my dad brought me to this space where I am today. I'm blessed with great genes. I'm blessed with a lot of things by nature. I got a great stepfather that taught me a lot about life, taking care of myself, responsibility. So I'm grateful. Who's the father in your life? And what's the one thing you can be grateful for? What's the one thing? And with that all said, everybody have a great weekend. We are signing out.